a new thing for us. Not only is it sort of the end of the sustainability LID training that we've done, low impact development training, but it represents why Mark is here and why we partnered with the enforcement folks. It represents sort of a evolutionary step in problem solving approaches at the State Water Resource Control Board. We've had 3 previous workshops that we called Protecting California Waters, and at those workshops, they were all in Sacramento area. That was back when I used to work in the enforcement program. We were really trying to figure out how to solve water quality problems using our tools instead of regulating and doing our programs and counting our widgets and our beans. We were really trying to figure out, is there a way to solve actual water quality problems? And so we had 3 of these workshops in Davis, and they were really good, and they actually all focused on sustainability. There was this interest of trying to link sustainability to enforcement. So after 3 years of doing that in Davis, at the end of last year, we decided this is kind of great, but it's like preaching to the choir. We're just talking to ourselves and trying to motivate ourselves to do more. Let's get out in a community and actually do something and listen to them instead of talk to them, listen. So this year we actually tried to plan 3 things: a collaborative workshop that was going to be at River Lodge. Some of you may have sort of got on the email loop about that. It was going to be a 2-day thing where it was open-ended and people were just going to come and talk about the water issues and their concerns, set some priorities maybe, set some action plans maybe, and then leave with some sort of a plan to try to do something. Well, that part kind of got postponed because it was very tricky. As you may know, up in Humboldt County, it's tricky to get people to come sit at a table and talk about something. A lot of fear and concerns about which sides are going to be there and what they're going to say. So, but in addition to that, we were going to also plan some community connections, like our film festival last night, which was attended by about 500 people, I think. Yeah, Paul was 200. No, we actually, but it was really cool. But the goal behind that is to sort of recognize that water is used and valued by people that don't just sort of call their job a water regulator or a water person. So we really, I recognize, and others in this room recognize, that it's the people, the public in California, that really tells us what to do with protecting water and the uses that go along with it. So we showed a cool surfing flick and then a whitewater kayaking kayaktivist film, I called it, because it was about British Columbia River that ended up losing its battle to a hydro dam, the Ashlew. Kind of tragic and real recent, actually. I noticed that some of the footage was from April of '07. So that was the goal of last night's thing. And then today's was intended to be as I called it, a technology transfer session. And the idea behind that is to get people who want to do things, that don't want to necessarily sit around and talk for 2 days, but they want to get action done. They don't have time to do that. They don't get paid to do that, but they got an interest and they got a mission to do something. Here are some tools. So today is the tools part. I just want to give you some context so that you recognize that this is not just a standalone, or wasn't supposed to be a standalone thing, but it still serves a great purpose as a standalone thing. So what we did is we put together an agenda of what I think is pretty much the cream of the crop on this topic in California right now. You've got some expertise on the water board. One of the goals that I want to give you, and this is not to make any of my fellow water board employees uncomfortable, but I want to give you the inside scoop on how to make us do the right thing. Often we get in the way of ourselves and our mission, and so this is an attempt, but Mark and I are going to give a little bit of a sort of a secret tricks to here's what makes us tick, here's the magic words, here's what you say, here's how you get us to do what you need us to do as well as what we need to do and want to do. And then later in the day we're going to have a lot of really interesting topics on sustainability, wastewater, stormwater, and then both. They're really intertwined these days. As crazy as it sounds, I think we are starting to come full circle when we talk about green infrastructure and stuff. It's all coming together. How do you build new communities so that you don't have these nightmare, mega million-dollar infrastructure need problems down the road? Can you do it differently? So the goal of today is to try to get us to think holistically, share some really cool tools that you can go home and use if you want to immediately, and then also just get some dialogue started. And Mark and I are committed to come back. If this is something that Humboldt County wants to try again next year or to have something similar, let us know. We'll organize it. We raised money. Everything is paid for by donations from 3 entities. The California Hazardous Materials Investigators Association, Melissa, you know them. They gave us some money to do this. The Long's Drug Trust gave us some money to do this. And then settlement in Long Beach with the prosecutor, he arranged for some of the settlement money to be dedicated to a workshop like this. And so we're using those 3 pots of money to do this. The water board itself is not paying for any of this except for my travel and Kristen's travel and Mark's travel. And the rest of you are free to take our swag and enjoy the day.